Hello, America. Hello, Israel. Hello, free world. This is Levin TV. I'm Mark Levin. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a special edition of Levin TV, the coup against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I do not believe that the longest serving, and in my view, the greatest prime minister in the history of Israel has had a fair shake with the Israeli media and most of the American media, as a matter of fact. And so using our new technologies, using the platform that we have here, I intend to do my very best to explain these allegations against the Prime Minister of Israel and to explain why they are so untoward. And in doing so, and I hope you'll watch, I brought an expert with me, somebody I've known a very, very long time. Arthur Ferguson, welcome to the show.
Good to see you again.
You too. Now, Arthur, you're senior counsel in a major firm in the United States. You received your JD from Yale Law School. You served as a clerk to the Honorable Thomas Griesa, United States District Judge for the Southern District of New York. You also clerked for Chief Justice Warren Burger at the time, and you have been a prosecutor, a federal prosecutor for a period of time, as well as a civil prosecutor, as well as a defense lawyer. So you pretty much have covered the gamut when it comes to the law in the United States. But you have taken a particular interest in what's taking place in Israel. You have family in Israel. You are Jewish. I am Jewish. What takes place in Israel matters to us. That's our ancestral home as well, of the Jewish people. And you're looking at what's taking place with the Prime Minister of Israel, and you contacted me. This is months ago.
Yes.
Because, you know, I've been very outspoken in my objection to what's taking place based on my own experience as a former chief of staff to a United States Attorney General in the Reagan administration. And we've been comparing thoughts and notes, and so I thought it would be a good idea to bring you on Levin TV, and let's have this discussion so that everybody watching in Israel, in the United States, around the world can understand that this is, in our view, a coup attempt of a sitting prime minister who's now been up for election. And even the timing of the announced coming charges prior to the first election, 5 weeks before the first election, were done in a very devious way. So let's get started here. How many charges are being brought against Benjamin Netanyahu?
3 charges.
3 charges. And they refer to them as case file 1000, case file 2000, and case file 4000. So let us first go through these case file charges that are being brought by an attorney general. What's the attorney general's name?
The attorney general's name is Mנדלבליט.
And he basically oversees a rather large bureaucracy of police officers and prosecutors and others who are, like in the United States, this entrenched bureaucracy. Regardless of who's prime minister, regardless of who controls the Knesset, these people are always there.
Yes.
And he's sort of the titular head. And if he doesn't control this bureaucracy, the bureaucracy controls him.
Absolutely.
Is that what's taking place here?
It's either that or he himself understands what's going on. I'm not sure he does. I'm not sure that being a major general in the Israeli Defense Forces equips you to handle a case of this magnitude. In fact, I don't know whether he's even read this. I am certain the initial problem that Israelis face, that the press faces, and that you and I face, is this, the length of this document. It is 93 pages long.
93 pages.
You would have to be a lawyer involved in the case or someone with the time, energy, and experience as a litigator to sit and read through it. Couple that with the announcement that the Attorney General has 333 witnesses. The merits will never be reached by most people. It's designed to smother the Israeli populace, the voters. It's designed to smother any person in the press who wants to fairly analyze the charges. It's designed to smother the Prime Minister, to prevent any fair evaluation because they're hidden in this pile of, let me say it, manure. Enormous verbiage, most of it irrelevant. And I want to go into the motives of the Attorney General.
Let's do this first.
From this.
So we have these three charges.
We have the three charges. Charge one.
The reason you need to be really focused as you read this, it's about 100 pages long, is because you really do need to ferret out the facts from fiction, the law from opinion. I have said this is the longest op-ed I've ever read.
Yes.
And it's filled with chest beating, emotional language, moral preening. What was your take on it?
Well, that's in count 4,000, or in charge 4,000. That's the one that accuses the Prime Minister of bribery, although there is no evidence that he ever agreed to or accepted a bribe.
Let's go through the counts.
Okay, count 1,000.
Count 1,000, the first one.
Count 1,000 is a integrity charge. Netanyahu breached the trust that reposed in him as Prime Minister. And it alleges that he did favors for somebody who was giving him gifts of champagne and cigars. No bribery is alleged. And this count is generally ignored by the people reporting on it. But it was this count, and in reading this charge sheet, the indictment, what we'd know as indictment, and it was the preliminary one that's been translated into English, that caused me to reflect on the lack of integrity of the Attorney General.
Because for you, this count in particular exposed the Attorney General for what he is and what he's doing. Why is that?
Why? You have to know a little bit about the count. We have the gifts from one person. It was Arnon Milchan, for whom favors were allegedly done to the Prime Minister and his wife over a period of 5 years. But these are joined with alleged favors done by a separate individual. The only allegation is that this individual, James Packer, in Australia, was introduced to the Prime Minister by Milchan. Packer also allegedly gave champagne and cigars. What the count, but received no favors, none. No allegation of favors, no allegation of finding a subterranean or secret means of
a benefit
gifts
to the Prime Minister.
To the Prime Minister from Milchan. Nothing. It's just the separate person.
So why is he brought up?
To juice the charge.
To juice the charge, to commingle from a prosecutor's perspective, to aggregate the gifts so it looks like it's something bigger than it is.
Yes.
So it looks like he got more cigars and more champagne in exchange for doing favors when in fact he did not.
Correct. And it increases it by a third. The amount alleged in fair market value to have been received by the Prime Minister is juiced by a third. But he never says why they're joined. They're joined in order for this Attorney General to allege in paragraph 35B the amount of favors that you, meaning the Prime Minister, received over a 5-year period is very high. He would not, the Attorney General would not have included the Packer gifts, for which no favors are alleged to have been received by Packer from the Prime Minister. He would not have done that had he believed the Milchan favors were sufficiently high. Yes.
Was good enough. So in other words,
and that shows me that this Attorney General is willing to act in an unethical way to prejudice the public opinion. It also tells me that he doesn't think he has enough. He has to juice count one. If he has to juice count one, he'll juice them all. It goes to his authority and to his ethics. That's the tell. You know, in poker, you have tells. If you read closely, which this was designed
to prevent.
If you read closely, you find out what he's doing. He wants to hide the truth in a mass of words and in a threatened mass, 333 witnesses.